Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Polly and today I'm doing a video that I've been dying to do for quite a while. A video of comparison. I love comparing. Love comparing. So you know how much I love Mancera. And I love unisex, I love men fragrances, and one of the fragrances that I was kind of like staring at is Kumkat Wood. And I couldn't really understand what it smells like. Based on the notes, Mancera can really surprise, and based on the reviews, they always compared it to Terred'hermase, the Eau de Toilette. So I have a little one from Hermès, also the EDT and the EDP. I have the little guy from Kumkat Wood and Montale's, Red Vetiver, that is also sometimes compared to the Terred'hermase. Let's begin and do the work, and I'll tell you my thoughts. I mean, listen, is my taste is all beyond of all tastes? Of course not. I am just one more nose into the collection of noses and reviews. And yeah, these are men fragrances. So I'm gonna give you my subjective for me personally, as a woman that wears men fragrances, and objectively kind of like for a man, just based on my taste. That's about it. All right, so let's start with the Terred'hermase, the EDT. I have a little guy right here. I'm not wasting this, so no paper, because this is magical. Honestly, I love it. It's so, it's elegant, it's aromatic, it's a little spicy. It's just, this is I mean, really one of the best men fragrances. If you're a man and you want to have a nice collection of good quality, don't skip this one. I think this one is a must for a man, and it's because it's more in the, not delicate, but it's not a vulgar. That's what's so beautiful and elegant about it. It's not a vulgar fragrance. It's very masculine, but it's very in control of itself. Very beautiful, very aromatic and woody, kind of a little fresh, a little green, a little bit of a lot of things. It could be for work, it could be casual, it could be for an event. Really depends who you are and how you represent yourself out there in the world. Now, in terms of the notes, we have orange and grapefruit in the opening. And you really get that grapefruit, that bitterness, that zestiness, anything that is citrusy with Hermès, they just do it so beautifully. Then in the heart, pelargonium, a flower, and pepper. You get that spice, you get that, it's beautiful. And in the base you have vetiver, cedar, patchouli, and benzoin. So more on vetiver, a little bit less on cedar, but you get the cedar. This one is just, it's such a classic. I mean, the hype is real for a wonderful reason. This is indeed a stunning fragrance for men, amazing for men. Like, I would love for my man to smell like this. This is, yeah. I think this is very sexy, very beautiful fragrance. And this is definitely something that a woman can pull off. I'm thinking like fall, winter, some leather jacket, you know, a heavy coat, something edgy, going maybe to the bar, something like that, or you're walking outdoors, it's a city, you know. Beautiful fragrance. It's amazing. Now, the outer perfume of the Terred'hermase, outer perfume, ain't wasting that either. It's a little bit different. So the opening is also orange and grapefruit. So you have that. But then you have, in the heart, you have flint. So these are notes from Fragrantica. Now, when you go in Fragrantica, you can click on the note and it gives you an explanation. And I think the explanation was something that it can be natural or fake and peculiar. I'm like, oh, that really tells me exactly what flint smells like. Either way, and then in the base you have oak moss, and you get that woody notes. So it's nothing specific, it's just woody notes, and benzoin. This is another stunning fragrance. I know everybody's all about the Eau de Toilette for amazing reason. I mean, it's a stunning fragrance. The EDP, the perfume is a little bit, honestly, I'm getting a little bit more of orange, like the benzoin and orange versus the grapefruit. It's there, it's not, but with the Eau de Toilette, there's more of the bitterness and freshness of grapefruit. In the outer perfume, I am actually getting grapefruit and orange. A little bit more on the orange with the benzoin. And you have the oak moss and the peculiar flint. For me, this one, a little bit more mature. You gotta be like 40 plus in terms of age, but also mental maturity. You have to be a man, not a male, but a man. It's a little bit more mature, something like a dad, you know, like a gray fox kind of thing. It's a really great fragrance. I'm thinking this one is a little bit more fall appropriate. It's a little warmer. This is a really, but this one is, for me, this is more masculine. The Eau de Toilette is more masculine, but a little bit more, you know, potentially could be unisex if one wishes to. The outer perfume is a little bit, honestly, it also could be worn by women. But it has a little bit more, not heaviness, but a little bit more masculinity, or some like maturity of man. Did that make any sense to you? It's just a little less fresh, less zesty, less bright, because with the EDT you have the grapefruit really comes through in the vetiver, so it's a little bit more like that. And the other perfume is a little bit more warm, a little bit more curved, a little bit calm, and just very relaxed. You know, somebody who's mature, they're a little bit, you know, like a comfy chair, like men like to sit in their comfy chair. It's a little bit going to that direction. Lovely fragrance. Then, honestly, I love them both. I mean, Terred'hermase is just amazing brand. So now, Kumkat Wood, the one that I was staring at, I'm not spraying it on myself. All right, and the next one, like I said, the Kumkat Wood had a little technical issues with the sprayer. Anyway, grapefruit, bergamot, and spices in the opening. So we still have the grapefruit, okay, and it's some spices. Floral, which kind of got me. I was hoping, you know, a little bit more in the floral. Patchouli and amber. Honestly, to me, the opening, you get the grapefruit, the kind of the Mancera grapefruit that I encounter in Pink Prestigium, which is bitter, zesty, fresh, but on the bitter side of the grapefruit. The bergamot adds more to that element, and patchouli. The floral, I mean, it's there, it's not, don't know, don't care, don't get nothing from that aspect of the notes. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I'm like not detecting actual florals. Then in the base you have cedar and vetiver, just like the EDT, right? And then sandalwood and white musk. So it's, from the only channels I really found anything were men fragrance reviews, and they said it's a more fun kind of version of the Terred'hermase. I don't find it to be fun fragrance. I find that maybe it's because the Terred'hermase is more elegant and more polished, and this one is not. But I think it's not a bad fragrance. There's more bitterness. There's more of that raw bitterness of the grapefruit and the patchouli, and kind of on the same aspect. That's what's coming also from the vetiver. So it's not bad. It would be like an everyday to go to the office. This would for me, like if I'm smelling this, I'm not thinking, wow, this man smells amazing. I'm just thinking, okay, this man has a cologne. But I wouldn't think, wow, it cheapens it. There's something like I wouldn't say, wow, Mancera, you did it again. Not really, honestly. Not my favorite. The Eau de Parfum by Hermès, so much better. And the Eau de Toilette. Still, Hermès is much, much better. In terms of, again, if you're watching this and you were kind of like me, a woman looking at it, I would say if you're thinking about it, get the Hermès. Really, honestly, the Kumkat Wood, I don't find it leaning unisex. It's a lot more masculine, and not really I don't know. It's not my favorite. It's not bad. It's really, really not. But if we have to compare, and this is I'm trying to compare, then Hermès is really in the lead. I will say the performance of this is dang good. I think for a man, a man will love it because it's a very good man fragrance, masculine fragrance. Woody, sharp, zesty for every day. I wouldn't wear this on a date or an event or anything like that. Just kind of like, I don't know, you're hanging out with your buddies kind of fragrance. I don't know. It didn't do it for me. Hermès did. And then I'm going to give you the other option, which I think is actually significantly better than the Kumkat Wood. It's not identical, but there is similarity, and that one I really, really love, and I think it would shine on a man, and it is available also for women to wear. Obviously, everything is available to everybody, but you know what I mean. It's a little bit more appropriate. Not appropriate, but you know, comfortable. You get it. So we're talking about Montale Red Vetiver. I have a little guy. So it has, there's no top, middle, and base, vetiver and grapefruit. Okay, so it's still on the grapefruit with pepper, so it's a spice, right? So we have cedar as well, patchouli. Okay, so it has similarity to the Kumkat Wood and the Terred'hermase and Peru Balsam. This is bomb diggity. I'm not going to compare this to the Terred'hermase. I don't think there's a point because they're not similar. Okay, yes, a lot of fragrances is going to have vetiver. So what? I don't want to compare those two because, and I have it here. Oh, I know, I sprayed it here. So this is the dry down. So yes, there is cedar. The vetiver is significantly more in the front. I think this fragrance, the Red Vetiver, is all about vetiver. The cedar is there to hold its hand, to carry it through in the fragrance, give it more of a base. You get the pepper, you get that grapefruit. So it's a combination of the bitterness and zestiness of the grapefruit with the sharpness and the kind of the brightness of the vetiver. So that combination, then throw some pepper in there. Beautiful, okay? But the name is Red Vetiver. Red is what? Warm, round, right? You're thinking something like that. There is something here that maybe it's the Pure Balsam that gives it a warm, aromatic feel. I have other vetiver fragrances and they tend to be a little bit more bright and sharp. This has something red, yeah, something warm. I think it's the balsam with the cedar and the pepper. Still, the Hermès is just more aromatic. It's more elegant. It's Hermès. Don't compare things to Hermès. Stop it. But if you love vetiver, regardless, man or female, if you love vetiver fragrances, I would really recommend the Red Vetiver by Montale. Nothing peculiar, nothing Montale-ish in here. What you are getting from Montale in this fragrance is an amazing composition and great performance. Yes, this is really, really good fragrance. This is a great vetiver. This would be bomb on a man. Very, very good. Forget about the Kumkat Wood. If you're into those fragrances, if you have Terred'hermase and you love that, you love your vetiver, try the Red Vetiver from Montale. If you have the Montale, well, you're definitely going to love the Terred'hermase. Honestly, Kumkat Wood is at the bottom of the list. It's nothing I want to wear. It's nothing I would particularly want to smell on my man, or would I smell it on somebody else? Would be impressed? No, not at all. Not to any level. Maybe just like, good for you, you have a fragrance. I don't know. Like, not really. But, yeah, this one, if you're already kind of in the thoughts, or, you know, I would say Red Vetiver will be a lot better and more interesting and beautiful on a man than Kumkat Wood. And also for a woman. I love this one. This is a really, really beautiful fragrance. And obviously the Terred'hermase. And yeah, you can have all three. The EDT, the EDP, and the Red Vetiver. If you're in it, you know, if you really love these fragrances, you can have all three, because the Eau de Parfum and Eau de Toilette, they do have a difference. And it's not a huge difference, but it's not a minute difference to say, oh, they're the same. They do smell differently. Again, not two completely different fragrances, but there are flankers. But you can have both. Definitely one maybe is a little bit more casual, more flirty, more elegant, more of a date, a little sexy. And the Eau de Parfum would be a little bit more chill, more casual. Maybe, like I said, a little bit more for a little bit more mature man. Maybe your dad is in his 50s or 60s or something like that. That would be a great gift to give. Maybe you live more in a colder area, so the Eau de Parfum does have some a little more warmth. I don't know. There's something very snuggly about it. Like, I want to snuggle with the Eau de Parfum, and I want to go on a date with the Eau de Toilette. You know. So those are the Hermès, and like I said, Red Vetiver by Montale. It's just so good. It's really, really good. Yeah. Forget about Kumkat Wood, in my opinion. But these are my comparison, my thoughts, and yeah, you might disagree, you might agree. It is what it is. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.